Good to see you both, David. I want to start with you. Talk to me. I mean, this is not the first time that Donald Trump has fraternized someone with the likes of Fuentes, and yet it can absolutely never become normalized.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alicia. I think everybody can make their own judgment about Donald Trump, the man, and what's in his heart. But what we do know is there's a pattern of giving aid and comfort to racist, to anti-Semitic individuals, to bigots. And that's true at Mar-a-Lago just this week. I think, look, we're overlooking the fact that he also had dinner with Kanye coming out of the last 4 to 6 weeks. This has not been a good moment for Kanye's personal convictions either. So for Donald Trump to plead ignorance just simply doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There is a pattern of this that was affirmed. The bigger question, does it matter for Republicans? I think the silence is fairly interesting. Mm-hmm. Look, you've got a whole bunch of Republicans hoping that this is the end of Donald Trump, but they're not willing to be the ones to place their bet on that. So if Donald Trump emerges in the Republican primary as the front runner, expect them all to get right back behind him like they did 4 years ago.
Juanita, your thought on this guest list?
Look, it's no surprise. Trump ran on white supremacy and anti-Semitism and bigotry in 2016 and 2020, and that's clearly the plan in 2024 as he unites anti-Semites and white supremacists at Mar-a-Lago. It's disgusting, but it's par for the course. What's also par for the course that David mentioned was the fact that Republicans haven't said anything. And honestly, everybody who had smoke for Trump after they lost their races through him and his handpicked candidates needs to speak up, because ultimately they're showing that they have no backbones. They're showing that they're still cowards. They're showing that they will still cower to Trump in 2024. So whatever that pipe dream of Republicans turning on Trump, kiss it goodbye. They're showing yet again they're sticking with him by not calling him out. And honestly, this is dangerous, and it's only going to continue to escalate. So I appreciate you showing that tweet from Representative Torres, because he knows what's up. He's calling it out for what it is. Not only is Trump using these people as his closest advisors when everybody else seems to be abandoning him, but he is who he plans to lean on, especially when he tries to appeal to his white supremacist, racist base.
As we settle into this post-midterm space, a new poll out of Quinnipiac University shows 57% of all Americans view Donald Trump's run in 2024 as a bad thing. The same poll also shows 58% of independents take issue with him running, which provides a grim outlook on the Trump campaign before it even gets started. One might think it wise for our twice-impeached failed former president to sit this one out, but as much as anyone rolls their eyes at Donald Trump and the stained legacy that he left behind, you got a stern warning. This isn't a joke. Donald Trump's candidacy is not something to laugh off and hope it'll go away if we stop looking at it. It's also not something to stop looking at. He's been here before, and he left a trail of division and destruction in his wake. Let's just take a look at some of the many reasons why so many Americans think President Donald Trump 2.0 is a really bad idea for this country. When he was in office, Donald Trump tried to eliminate the Environmental Protection Agency, something he called a disgrace. It was, by the way, formed by Republicans. He rolled back over a dozen EPA regulations. He slashed the budget, but many of those changes resulted in legal battles that ultimately went nowhere. In 2015, after two separate terrorist attacks in Paris and San Bernardino, California, Trump vowed to ban Muslims from entering the country, calling for a, quote, total and complete shutdown. This was foreshadowing, by the way, for an executive order that he later signed as president that banned foreign nationals from 7 predominantly Muslim countries from visiting the country for 90 days and suspended entry to the country for all Syrian refugees immediately. In 2018, Donald Trump pulled the United States from the Iran nuclear deal, a deal that President Obama and several other world powers made with Iran to lift sanctions in exchange for Tehran easing its nuclear activities. Critics said at the time that it could have alienated the U.S. even more on the world stage. Also in 2018, the Trump administration took on a zero-tolerance immigration policy, prosecuting anyone illegally crossing the southwest border and separating children from their parents. You'll remember, we saw this footage of children in cages, cramped, unsanitary detention centers, absolutely traumatized. According to the Biden administration, at least 3,900 kids were taken from their parents because of this law. While some reunions happened while Trump was still in office, the Biden administration has had to take on the brunt of reuniting hundreds of families. The Biden White House says so far it's reunited 500 children with their families as of last month. They're working to reconnect at least 700 more. In 2019, 3 years after the Obama administration told transgender individuals that they could serve openly in the military and have access to gender-affirming medical and psychological care, the Trump administration took it back. Anyone with gender dysphoria who was taking hormones or who had already undergone a gender transition would not be allowed to enlist in the military. And then there was the pandemic. The president at the time consistently downplayed the severity of the virus. At the start of 2020, the COVID-19 death toll in the U.S. had just hit 200,000. Donald Trump said the virus, quote, affects virtually nobody, end quote. The failed former president did all this damage and much more that we haven't even talked about. The January 6th insurrection, the big lie, the efforts to overturn a free and fair American election on a policy level. These examples should be a non-starter for far more people than that Quinnipiac poll lets on. Luckily, I've got the perfect people to discuss about this after the break. Tim O'Brien and David K. Johnson are standing by. We'll talk to them on the other side.
With a warning about the potential dangers of online dating, a man accused of victimizing women he met through a popular app is now a person of interest following the death of a woman who collapsed at a bar. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi is here with more on that. Mona, good morning.
Whit, good morning. Wisconsin police have been searching for this man that they believe is a serial predator, accused of using dating apps to lure women and then drug and steal from them. And now they are looking to question him about a woman's death. This morning, Wisconsin police say they are searching for a suspected dating app predator who is a person of interest in a woman's death.
She was in here for maybe 5 minutes until she hit the ground.
55-year-old Kim Mickelance, a mother of 4, was at a South Milwaukee bar Tuesday when she suddenly collapsed, later dying at the hospital. Police say it's unclear if a crime occurred and an autopsy is underway to determine her cause of death. Sam Anderson was bartending that day.
I saw the look on her face and I saw she was holding her drink and she kind of started leaning back.
Our affiliate WISN obtaining this image captured from surveillance video. You can see Mickelance sitting at a bar with a man that police believe is 52-year-old Timothy Olson.
He had sunglasses on and a hat, and then he was wearing a winter vest.
According to the owner, the two ordered drinks right before Mickelance became unconscious, adding while an employee called 911, Olson quickly left the bar. Police in Wisconsin have been on the hunt for Olson for allegedly drugging and stealing money from at least 3 different women he met online. One woman telling police she met Olson on an online dating app. She says she believes he drugged her, the next day noticing $800 in unauthorized withdrawals from her account. Experts say as the popularity of dating apps rise, so do the potential dangers.
I do believe that you do have to figure out rather quickly what a person's motive is as to why they're meeting you.
Police believe Olson uses several aliases. At this time, he is facing 5 counts of felony personal identity theft charges. So they're asking everyone to remain vigilant.
All right, Mona, thank you.
And then you have the Colorado Springs shooting. It seems to be emboldening anti-gay trolls. Explain how.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we sort of knew this was happening for months, right? Is that you'd see these prominent activists on Twitter and predominantly Twitter who would identify an event. So, not just libs of TikTok, but this guy, James Lindsay, they would say, hey, there's going to be something at this library. That they're going to read books. A drag queen's going to come and read books. And then you would have the Proud Boys, and this happened in Nevada, for example, show up and start harassing the librarians, calling the entire library and staff groomers and attacking them for days, calling in bomb threats to hospitals. So that was happening for months. And so what you basically get is a social media ecosystem that was not just sort of percolating this narrative, this hatred and this vitriol, but then every so often sort of taking that kinetic energy and channeling it toward a new target, be it a children's hospital, a library, a gay club. And that's how you sort of got to this habit that was happening for months, where there was this muscle memory or reflex of knowing when and where to go. That's how ClubQ or any event would sort of get on the radar of these extremists, is that they promoted when these events were happening and saying, here's another example of grooming, of targeting children. So that was how this got operationalized. And just last weekend, James Lindsay, one of the people that had helped identify targets, was put back on Twitter. So It started to at least stabilize for a while because the platform started to take some action. But that plateau is over now. We're in a moment, as you noted at the intro, where it's trending again. And I think that we should just recognize that, that upswing that maybe slowed down, we're in an environment now where it's going to get a lot worse.
Angela, I'm going to ask you an impossible thing to answer in 30 seconds, but then how do you fix it? How do you undo it?
Well, at this point, it's deprogramming. I think, that's the first part, but obviously there's no easy way to do that. I think the clearest answer is that media as a whole have to give context. The Republican Party is taking this stuff from the fringes, and they are actually operationalizing this hate, not just into policy, but into practice. And I think fundamentally there needs to be some real accountability and some truth-telling about just how far off the Republicans were. Marjorie Taylor Greene was out there saying that if her child went to a camp with a trans counselor, that her husband would beat that counselor to a pulp. This is what's happening in the Republican Party across the spectrum. There's no way to unwind it until we stop that pipeline.